My name is Austin Kirby. I'm interviewing my Aunt Rhonda on her experiences being a teen mom raising a Down syndrome child.
Okay.
Okay. How old were you when you first found out you were pregnant, and how did you feel about it?
I found out 2 weeks before he turned 18, and I was shocked and nervous and very scared about it.
What were some challenges that he faced when he was born due to his condition?
He faced a lot of challenges when he was born. The first challenge was finding out if he had Down syndrome or not, because they thought maybe he did, but maybe he didn't, and they had to go do a blood test, and the first blood test got messed up, and it takes a week, so then they had to do another blood test, and the whole time they're saying maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, and that was like very frustrating and made me like, I didn't want to get my hopes up that he didn't, because what if he did? But I kind of wasn't ready for it to find out that he did. And then he also had small lungs, so he had to be on a little bit of oxygen and stay in the hospital for 16 days, but that wasn't really because of his Down syndrome. That was just because he was Troy and his lungs were small.
How long did it actually take to find out he had Down syndrome?
It took 12 days.
Okay.
And then they came and I went home to go take a shower because I didn't leave him at the hospital for anything but to go take a shower. I came home to go take a shower, and the doctor called me and said, I think you should come down here so we can talk. And I said, well, if you need me to come down there, then I already know what you want to talk about, so just tell me now on the phone. And he told me and said I had options, and I could choose to raise him or I could choose to put him up for adoption. And I thought he was crazy because I've already decided to do this. So I went home to my mom's house. I didn't live at my mom's house, but I went to my mom's house and went to my old bedroom and locked myself in there and cried for 3 days. And then I went and started being a mom.
What are some challenges you faced as a young parent?
Oh, there were a lot of challenges as a young parent. Trying to have a social life, which is still important when you're young, and be a mom. Trying to work and be a mom and make enough money at that young age to feed and clothe and house a baby. I was lucky that childcare wasn't a struggle for me because I had my sister, your mom, and my mom, who were like Troy's second moms, and watched him while I worked at night while they worked during the day. So I had to work at night so that he didn't have to go to daycare because I didn't want to leave him with strangers when he was learning so much.
What was his first time at school like?
His first time at school, he was 1.5 in preschool, and he loved it. He could have cared less, but I was so nervous that I stayed there with him in another room next door in case he needed something, and I did that for about 2 weeks. And then finally, one day, I ran to the store while he was there, and the teacher was like, oh, it's starting. And I was like, what's starting? And she said, you're going to be able to leave him here one day. But he loved it. Troy's always been very social, so he really, really liked school.
How did he get along with other kids as a young child?
For the most part, he got along with them great. Unless he was frustrated or unless they did something wrong to him. But he's always been very nice. Like, he wants people to be happy, whether it's kids or adults. But he had a couple times, like one time a kid broke his glasses and Troy got mad and he hit the kid. And it was because the kid was messing with his glasses. He still got in trouble, but he had a good time with other kids. All through school, he was actually lucky with other kids. Even he didn't really have any trouble getting picked on at school. He didn't get he was accepted a lot all the way through high school, and that's probably because your cousins went to middle school and high school with him, and they helped him get acquainted with the regular school kids, as they call them. So he was lucky.
As the years went by, how did you feel about yourself as a parent?
It depended on the day. Some days I was a great parent. Some days I thought I was a terrible parent. I think every parent feels that way, but I think I don't think I'm different than any other parent, except I was young, and it taught me that I had to work hard because I had things that were important, and it taught me what was important. Instead of being 20 and crying over boys, I knew that this was important. That's the real important, and most people don't learn that until they're older. And what else? What I think I'm a good parent, but I think I'm a normal parent. I just take care of my kid the same way anybody takes care of their kid, and all kids are different.
So you don't feel any different?
I don't feel any different than any other parents. Now that he's 21, I feel a little different because I can't kick him out of my house. But now I enjoy it. It's like having a roommate.
What were some of the hardest things you had to do raising Troy?
So the hardest things I had to do, now you're going to make me cry, were seeing him not be able to do some of the things that he knew he should be able to do. Like, he played regular t-ball when he was real little, and then when he outgrew t-ball, he wasn't really ready for regular little league because he didn't have all the mechanics down. So we put him on the special needs baseball team, and he didn't want to play because he knew how you play baseball, and he told me, this is not how you do it. So he didn't want to play on that team. So now he enjoys playing on a team because the kids are bigger and he just wants to play baseball. But I think the things that he knew other 13-year-olds were doing that he couldn't do. I couldn't drop him off at the mall all by himself because he's too trusting and who knows where he'll go. And he knew other 13-year-olds were going to the mall by themselves. So those things, that was the hardest part for me, was seeing him not be able to do things he thought he should be doing. I think.
What did you learn over the years with your experience raising a boy with Down syndrome?
I learned patience, which you might not believe, but I do have more patience than I used to. I learned patience. I learned what is important and what is not really important. And I learned that everybody has something good they can give to the world, no matter what. Troy has a lot of special good things about him, even though maybe he's not in college or something like that, but he's special to our family, and he's special to people who aren't our family. Like, he has a lot to give the world. But I think the biggest thing I learned as a mom was patience. And now that I'm the mom of a 21-year-old, I really learned that I shouldn't have worried about a lot of the things I've worried about for 21 years. They weren't a big deal. When Troy was getting potty trained, I was worried that it was taking too long, and some older lady told me, if he's still 10 and you have to change his diapers, you should worry about it then. But he'll start doing it. And I realized with Troy, everything he does in his own time. And I think I've also learned I wouldn't have gotten mad about so many things because they weren't a big deal. Like, if you're not listening to me, let me just take a deep breath, and eventually you'll do what I'm asking you to do. I shouldn't have to scream about it for 4 hours.
What kind of future do you see for him?
I see a good future. He's getting ready to graduate adult school, and then he'll go into an adult program, and learn about working and about taking care of himself. But I see him probably being my roommate for a much longer time, until he's like your roommate. And then I think he'll work one day. I don't think it's going to be when he's 25, but maybe between 25 and 30 he'll have a job that he goes to independently. But I don't think he'll live all alone ever. I don't think, but we'll see.
All right, my final question is, now that he is 21, how do you think he has progressed in his life till now?
I think he's progressed amazingly. And I think he's progressed amazingly because of our family and the people that we have around us. I think everybody kind of treats Troy like normal. You're expected to do what we do. You're expected to know right from wrong. We take you, he loves watching your guys' games and hanging out with you guys. And I think such a strong family that we could count on for 21 years is what's made him progress so well. Because all of you guys have an exorbitant amount of people around you and taking care of you and making sure that you guys are doing well and doing what he needs. His cousins have been a huge blessing in his life because he gets to see what people are supposed to be doing, and you guys teach him a lot, even though you're younger than him. That's it, I think.